Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a Switch slash gaming my 2 cent video for this week, where I take a look at some of the stuff that caught my attention this week and give you my thoughts and my opinion. Before I get started, as you can see, I'm in my work clothes. Unfortunately, I hoped to shoot this earlier today, but I had to go into work to cover for someone and all that stuff, so. And it was on my day off though. But hey, I got Saturday and Sunday off. So, but enough with me and what issues I had on my day off. Why don't we get started for this week? And for this one, we got a couple rumors. So most of these are Switch related though, but some that are kind of interesting though. Although it's worth pointing out, there's no way if any of this information is true, and there's a chance it could more than likely could be false. But there's also the possibility these could be true as well. So why don't we get started with the first one? And the first one has to do with Nintendo regarding their E3, what they might show, and an update, and the fact that there's going to be a change to their MyNintendo. So why don't we start with the first one? So the first story has to do with someone supposedly leaking information on supposedly a setup for E3 2018 in Los Angeles, and has pointed out what Nintendo might show at E3 2018. Bear in mind, he's pointing out this is for first parties at the moment. So far, other sites have reported that this is obviously fake and all that stuff. So, but I'll let you read. I'll have a link in the description of this. I'll let you read it and you can come to your conclusion. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out to be fake, although some of it does sound like it could be true at all. So why don't I read you what this individual is claiming that Nintendo might show at E3 2018. According to him, he's pointing out Metroid Prime 4, which I will get to that in the third part of this video, so don't worry about that. I'll be talking about that one. Pokemon, this person's claiming it's 2 versions with the 8th generation. Don't know if that's true. Bayonetta 3, we know it exists. We don't know if it will be out this year or not. There's been some speculations on whether that could come out. There's some saying summer 2018, but we'll have to wait and see. Pikmin 4, we've heard about Pikmin 4 being done or not though, so who knows if that's going to be shown or not. Anyway, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD remake of the Wii game. Not 100% sure about that one. I think that's highly unlikely, but it could happen though. Super Mario Maker 2 is a sequel, not just support. I could see that happening. I could see them do a Super Mario Maker 2 for the Nintendo Switch. Don't know if they will do it or not, but I could see something like that. Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch. The ultimate version of Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U with new major content and all DLCs included. That too, I could see them happening. While I know a lot of people would rather see a new Smash Bros., and I don't blame them, and I'm not saying they aren't going to do a new one. I'm pretty sure they will. I wouldn't rule out the possibility that Nintendo could do what they did with Poké Tournament and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a sort of a definitive version. It's, some new content and all. Although I would think by this point it's probably best if they do like a brand new Smash Brothers. But we'll wait and see about that one. Luigi's Mansion 3 to celebrate the 35th anniversary of Luigi, developed by Next Level Games. I've heard about Luigi's Mansion 3 a couple of times before, back and forth on that one though. Would I like to see it happen? Yes. Will it happen? Who knows? But there's that one. WarioWare, surprise, a new WarioWare game for showcasing Nintendo Switch tech that will have stands with categories of mini games with Wario, Mona, Jimmy T, and 9V, developed by Intelligent System. Not sure about that one, though. I wouldn't mind another WarioWare game, although I would prefer a Wario Land instead, though. But not sure about that one, but we'll wait and see. Animal Crossing, new game of the Animal Crossing series. I know there's a lot of people that would love to see a new Animal Crossing, so for those people, hopefully that one turns out to be true. Fire Emblem, we know that is happening. We know that's in development. We just don't know when it will be out. Supposedly Nintendo said 2018, but we don't know exactly when in 2018 or if it will happen though. So we'll have to wait and see. Yoshi, the Yoshi game, which has been shown at E3 2017 with his final name and a release date of June 2018. Possible, but not 100% sure. We know the game is in development, and there has been reports that that game is running on Unreal Engine 4, along with, I think, the brand new Pokemon Switch game as well. I could see it being released, definitely could see that game being released this year. Whether it's June 2018 or not remains to be seen, but I could definitely see that game being released this year. Mario Party 11th, the 11th game of the Mario Party series, for also showcasing Nintendo Switch tech developed by ND Cube. There has been rumors about Mario Party 11, though. I wouldn't be surprised if they announced that for the Switch. After all, Nintendo has said they want to create games for different demographics. They probably will do that, though. Never really gone to Mario Party 11th. Or Mario Party in general, but I'm sure there's an audience for it. I'm pretty sure a version of Mario Party does exist, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it on the Switch down the road. And last but not least, a new unknown IP. It's a horror game developed by Retro Studios. Now, this one I'm not 100% sure about, and this is why though. While I certainly don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Retro could be working on something like a new IP or maybe a horror game though, I'm not leaning towards that in any way. In fact, I'm more leaning towards this though. There has been some rumors going around that David Wise is basically working with Retro Studio on something, and I feel combined with that, along with we're seeing Donkey Kong and Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and the re-release of Tropical Freeze, I just have the feeling that this is giving the impression that they're working on a brand new Donkey Kong game though. Now I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong completely. They could be working on a brand new game. After all, David Wise has done other music as well. He did music for last year's Ukulele and Snake Pass. So it's possible that they could be working on a brand new IP, or working with Retro on the music for a new IP that Retro's working on. But I'm right now leaning more towards that they are working on a Donkey Kong game. Whether it's a continuation of countries such as in a 2D manner or going into a 3D route remains to be seen. Though personally, I'm not against if they do a 3D one though, and if they do, I would say look at Mario Odyssey as inspiration. I'm not saying blatantly copy it though, but look at it as inspiration. So I'm not sure if they're doing a horror game or anything like that. I certainly wouldn't rule it out as a possibility, but I just don't see that happening though. So overall, as far as this list goes, like anything, I could see some of this happening at E3, but at the same time, it obviously sounds like one of those it's too good to be true, and we've seen lists before that are false and never turned out to be true at all, though, so I would take this one with a grain of salt, and if it turns out to be false, which sounds like it is though, I wouldn't be surprised though. Though, like I said, I could see some of that stuff happening though at E3. Alright, the next one has to do with basically a change to MyNintendo. Recently, Nintendo announced that in early March, you will be able to use gold points to select digital purchases on your Nintendo Switch, though. So, according to what Nintendo is basically saying, and again, some stories and all the links are in the description of this video. It says, MyNintendo members already earn gold points by buying qualified games. Soon they'll be able to redeem gold points for eligible digital games and content for Nintendo Switch systems too. Here's how it works. Buy a qualified digital game for Nintendo Switch, Wii U, or Nintendo 3DS family system, or a physical game for the Nintendo Switch system. Earn gold points worth 5% of the amount you pay, not including any points or discount used. You can then redeem those points on your next eligible digital purchase, including games and DLCs for the Nintendo Switch system. From your Nintendo eShop or Nintendo.com. Of course, you can also continue to redeem your points for existing My Nintendo rewards for Wii U or Nintendo 3DS. Stay tuned for more details. Personally, I think it's about time, though. I mean, let's be honest, though. Not a lot of people are using the Wii U at this point. I mean, the Wii U is going slowly, eventually will fade out. 3DS, it's going to reach that point at some point. It's not there yet, but it is going to happen. And I think it's time that they put this My Nintendo thing onto the Nintendo Switch. Because up to this point, they've been putting discounts and all for Wii U and 3DS. But not a lot of people have been using the My Nintendo because Nintendo hasn't really offered really a good amount. And so now we're seeing this come to the Switch, which is certainly nice. I mean, I know 5% may not be enough, but you know what? It's a start. If it helps saves you money on buying like DLC or digital content through the Nintendo eShop off the Switch, I mean, that's good. Would it have been nice if it was much higher? Yes, but I do think it's a start. Hopefully, as it starts going, hopefully over time, we'll see more discounts and so on with My Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch and maybe for future consoles down the road. So, it's better late than never. I'm glad they're doing it, so hopefully, though, we'll see more discounts out down the road, though. For at least with the My Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch, though. Okay, we're going to take a little break, and when we get back, we're going to be talking about some rumors from Activision on what they might be bringing to the Switch, and of course, the obvious, Call of Duty announcement, as well as rumors what's this Call of Duty game going to be all about. So, we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at 2 properties that are owned by Activision, and if these rumors are true, assuming they are, though, they could be heading to the Switch sometime this year. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens. But in the meantime, why don't we get the story out first? So we'll start with the first one, and apparently it points to, at least from an article from a licensing source book in Europe, although reports have said they've now changed that story, it was reported that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy may be coming to the PC and the Switch. It says that a licensing manager in an interview with License Source Book Europe may have accidentally revealed that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is coming to the PC and Nintendo Switch as a new game coming in 2019. This was reported in Eurogame. According to the manager, the game was a huge success at retailers with no marketing spending and will be going to Nintendo Switch and PC in 2018. There will also be a new game coming in 2019, and this is all part of an Activision 5-year plan for the franchise. Meanwhile, a report started to come out that the next Call of Duty game is reported to be called Call of Duty Black Ops 4, rumored for this year. Citing multiple sources, Eurogame, and this article is from Destructoid, again, link will be in the description of this video, is reporting that the next game in the franchise will be Treyarch's Call of Duty Black Ops 4, a more grounded entry in the light of the reception of 2016 Infinite Warfare. These rumors began a few days ago when Marcus Seller, a writer who suggested Black Ops 4 was next in line and that it would arrive on Switch, courtesy of an unnamed company familiar with the series. And he recently put out a tweet back on February 3rd, 2018 at 4:40 p.m. writing, quote, COD, that's the nickname for Call of Duty, 2018 is Black Ops 4 and it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC and Switch. It is set in modern times and it's boots on the ground. The Switch version will support DLC, HD Rumble, and motion controls. The Switch version is also being ported by a company which is familiar with Call of Duty games. Now, in terms of these rumors concerning though, Crash, I could see happening on the Nintendo Switch though. Unless, of course, Crash Bandicoot was a time exclusive, or if it was the kind of situation with like Bayonetta 2 where Nintendo like fully funded that game or anything like that. I could, unless it's like that, I could see Crash Bandicoot coming to the Nintendo Switch. I think that it would be a perfect fit for that system. It's a platformer and so on. Now, I play the game though, and while it can be a little difficult at times though, it's still a fun game nevertheless, and it's worth playing if you have like a PS4 and so on. But should it come to the Switch, it would be a very nice addition to have something that you could play at home and then on the go though. Crash has made an appearance on other systems before, though it's kind of a little bit surprising because I always thought he would be like Sony's mascot, but obviously that wasn't the case. However, surprisingly, excuse me one second. Surprisingly, there's no mention of an Xbox One version, at least when that article came out, though. Whether it was an error or whether there's no plans to bring it to the Xbox One, who knows? But obviously, if this story turns out to be true, we could be seeing Crash come this year. And if the rumors about a new Crash game in 2019 are true, hopefully this time around they could put Crash into like a fully like 3D world. That would be nice. And hopefully that will also come to the Switch as well, but we'll have to wait and see. But in either case, if the rumors are true, I would be down with Crash Bandicoot coming to the Nintendo Switch. As for the next Call of Duty game, everyone knows they do a Call of Duty game every single year, so it's no surprise that they're probably working on the next Call of Duty game. Whether it's Black Ops 4 or not remains to be seen. Personally though, if they do decide to bring it to the Switch though, if these rumors are true to be exact though, it's going to be very interesting to see how people will open their arms to it, because Call of Duty, the last Call of Duty games that were released on a Nintendo system was back when Black Ops 2 and Ghost came out, and I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan though, but I will say I did like Black Ops 1 and 2 to be exact. However, as far as DLCs goes, we basically got the short end of the stick if you own the Wii U version, which means that while everyone who owned the PS3 of Black Ops 2 got Nuketown 2025, if I'm saying that name correctly, I apologize if I'm not. Wii U owners had to wait years and years until we got that kind of DLC. So if they are bringing Black Ops 4 to the Switch though, then they really going to have to ensure that we get the DLCs at the same time as the PS4 and Xbox One though. Of course, like anything, we heard rumors last year about Call of Duty World War II coming to the Switch, which didn't turn out to be true. Although, I'm sure by now, given the position that the Switch is in at this time, I would assume Activision would want to bring a Call of Duty game to the Nintendo Switch. It's worth pointing out, though, that they have ported the game, their Call of Duty games, to even something underpowered, say like the Wii, when that compared to the Wii U and the 360. I mean, we got Call of Duty Redux and the original Black Ops and World at War, so obviously, if the system is selling well, Activision will find a way to port the game over. Whether or not people are going to buy the Switch version or not, it's going to depend on how much time and effort they put into the Switch version, how well they market it though, and whether or not Switch owners will get the same DLC as when the PS4 and Xbox One version will get, or in the PC, or whether we're going to get the short end to the stick though. Personally, I have nothing against the series coming to the Nintendo Switch. I would be open if it does though, but Call of Duty, it's in and out for me on that one though. Again, I liked Black Ops 1 and 2. I thought World at War was good, but other than that, I haven't really touched a Call of Duty game for a while because some of it is the reputation the series has earned, especially with the whole every game has to be like Call of Duty, otherwise it's not going to sell well, which we saw how that played out with Resident Evil 6, and so I might try it. But I'm not 100% sure on it, so we'll have to wait and see though. Again, I wouldn't be against Call of Duty Black Ops 4 coming to the Switch, but I don't know if there's a big interest for it or not, so we'll have to wait and see. Between the two titles, I have to say the odds are I could see Insane Trilogy coming to the Switch more than I could see with Black Ops 4, but I could be wrong, and Activision could actually bring Black Ops 4 to the Nintendo Switch. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll make an announcement at E3, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to our third and final part, And this one has to do with Bandai Namco and rumors on 2 games, one that's now been confirmed at this point, another one they might be working on as well. So we'll take a quick break and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the third and final part of our My 2 Cent video, and this one has to do with some rumors going around about Bandai Namco and what they could be developing for the Switch, including the rumors that have been going around about Metroid Prime 4. Now that has gone around, that rumor about Bandai Namco has been going around for a bit though, and many people have been speculating that they are the ones who are developing Metroid Prime 4. Of course, at the time, I wasn't sure if that rumor was true until this week. Apparently, what started this rumor was basically, or what started making people suggested that this rumor was true, was a post on a LinkedIn, Linkedin, if I'm saying the name correctly, apologize if I'm not, from a person who worked as a lead designer for Bandai Namco Singapore studio by the name of Sean Pittman, if I'm saying the name correctly though. And supposedly, from what is understand, he used to work on, was one of the folks who helped work on the Star Wars 1313, if I'm saying the name correctly, before that game got canceled though. But what got people's attention was what he posted on his LinkedIn page, if I'm saying, again, I apologize if I'm saying the name correctly, and it points out, and the link's in the description so you can read it though. It points out 2 projects that caught my attention. Actually 3 though. The third one he points out is that he highlights Ace Combat 7 VR aircraft dogfighting action simulator exclusive to PS4 and PS4 VR. But the 2 that have gotten Nintendo fans' attention were two of them though. First one was a project unannounced IP first-person shooter adventure exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, and the other one is Ridge Racer 8, drift-based high-speed car racing exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. That got a lot of people's attention, and this gave the impression that Bandai Namco was working on Metroid Prime 8. Metroid Prime 4, I'm sorry, I got the numbers mixed up though. And just today though, and although this video will probably be up on Saturday, just today on Friday, Eurogamer has recently recorded, in terms of what their sources are saying, is that Bandai Namco is working on Metroid Prime 4. According to them, they're writing, though, quote, internet rumors this week suggested that pegged Bandai Namco Studio as being the mysterious studio behind Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4, something multiple sources have now confirmed to Eurogamer as being accurate. Specifically, the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch exclusive is being developed by Bandai Namco's Studio Singapore, which we understand is the lead studio on the game in collaboration with Nintendo. The studio housed some former LucasArts Singapore staff who previously worked on, among other things, the ambitious canceled Star Wars 1313. Though, so it sounds like that basically Bandai Namco it does sound like, if this source is true, it looks like Bandai Namco are the ones developing Metroid Prime 4, unless there's a sudden change. The other one is, of course, the rumors at Ridge Racer 8, and according to it though, Nintendo Life is reporting that the reveal of it points to Ridge Racer, though. It's that he basically said that drift-based high-speed car racing exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. And they're saying Ridge Racer has been pretty quiet as an IP as of late on console since Ridge Racer Unbound and the PS Vita installment back in 2012. So it's certainly time for the series to make a return. If the post on LinkedIn is true, then Bandai Namco is bringing development in-house again, much like what they did with Ridge Racer 3D on 3DS. Unbound and the PSV entry were developed by external studios. Now, if it's true that Bandai Namco is working on Metroid Prime 4. I find that to be both interesting and I'm a little concerned about it. Now, to be clear though, Bandai Namco does have a history with Nintendo, and they have worked with them though. They have worked with them on Mario Kart 8, if I remember, and they helped develop Smash Brothers for the Wii U and the 3DS. And if a Smash Brothers game is in development for the Switch, which I believe it is, I'm sure they're helping out on that one as well. Whether or not it's a port of the 3DS and Wii U version, or whether it's something brand new, remains to be seen. However, it's also worth pointing out though that they have expressed more interest in supporting the Switch more now more than ever, given how successful the system has done, and there have been some rumors about ranging from Tekken coming to the Switch to them saying that they're bringing a Tales game to the Switch, and all that though. As far as them doing Metroid Prime 4, I do have some concerns about it because Bandai Namco is not known for doing first-person shooters, considering that's how the first 3 Metroid Prime games were. So I do have some concerns, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, if we rewind the clock back to like in the early 2000s, I remember a lot of people were upset that a studio known as Retro Studio was working on a Metroid game, and many people didn't like the idea of Metroid going 3D and so on, and some people were concerned. Of course, we all know how that turned out and how great Metroid Prime was. I also like Prime 2 and Prime 3, so given how well that was well received, I'm willing to give Bandai Namco the chance on this one though. And I really think the Metroid series needs to really get back in the game though. Federation Force was definitely not in everyone's taste, and although I didn't hate it as much, a lot of people didn't like Other M as well. Of course, last year we had Metroid Samus Return, which is a remake of Metroid Return of Samus on the Game Boy, and that got a very positive response, so hopefully this time people will get a positive response for this one. As for when it's coming out though, I have to say I wouldn't be surprised if 2019 is the launch date though, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised if they announce also we're bringing the Metroid Prime trilogy to the Nintendo Switch as well, which personally I would be down with that, and I think that would be a good idea considering that if you look at Bayonetta 1 and 2, that's coming to the Nintendo Switch. We also know that a Bayonetta 3 is coming, so with rumors, it might be out this year or not though, which could be helped, keep people occupied until the next entry comes in. So having released the Metroid Prime trilogy would make sense, as that will keep people occupied until Metroid Prime 4 comes out. So I'm definitely down if they do something like that. I'll give Bandai Namco the benefit of the doubt. We'll have to wait and see what they bring to the table. Hopefully hopefully they'll show off something at E3 this year. I mean, last year all we got was just the logo and so on. Hopefully this time around we'll see some actual gameplay though. So fingers crossed on that one. Hopefully we'll see something this year. Again, wouldn't be surprised if it's pushed to 2019. Would like to see it coming out this year, but I wouldn't be surprised about that one. As for Ridge Racer, however, if that rumor is true, I would be open for the series to come over here to the Switch. The Switch really doesn't have a whole lot of racing games. If I have, let's see if I have it here or not. I might not. No, don't. No. Oh yeah, here it is. I mean, right now the only racing game we have is really Gears Club Unlimited, which isn't a bad game or anything like that. It's not a terrible game or anything like that though, but right now that's the only real traditional racing game that we have at this moment. So having something else outside of Gears Club Unlimited would be nice. And hopefully they do bring Ridge Racer over. That series has remained dormant for quite some time, so hopefully they'll bring that back. So overall, it sounds like Metroid Prime 4 is being developed by Bandai Namco. I still have some concerns, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully we'll see more info about it soon. And hoping that if the rumors about Ridge Racer 8 being exclusive to the Switch turn out to be true, Would love to see that game make a comeback as well. I may not be a huge racing fan, but I would be open to it coming to this Nintendo Switch. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion, but what are yours? What are your thoughts about the rumors about Nintendo's E3 2018 showing? Do you think this rumor is true, or do you think most likely it's probably false, or anything like that? Again, I'm leaning towards probably is more false, but we'll have to wait and see. But again, that's where I'm leaning towards. And what about the change to My Nintendo with now the gold coins coming to the Switch? Do you think it's about time, or do you think it's too little, too late? What are your thoughts about Activision might bringing Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy to the Switch, or Call of Duty Black Ops 4? Are you down with that? Would you like to see Insane Trilogy come to the Switch? Are you open to a Call of Duty game come to the Switch? Are you not open to any of those games as well? And what are your thoughts about Bandai Namco could be working on Metroid Prime 4? Are you open to this though, or do you prefer it be Retro Studio doing Metroid Prime 4? And what about Ridge Racer 8? Would you be down with another racing game, or shall I say a traditional racing game, to the Nintendo Switch, or are you not really sure about that at all? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to. And feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me or Patreon. Links are in the description of this video. It's evening out here in Southern California, so I'll be getting ready for bed soon. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good evening then. Bye!